This film right here is a prime example of how you can't recreate cheese on purpose. Almost ever. It is so hard to do. I've seen it done. Rarely. It has been done. But man, it is near impossible. This film is like the epitome for me of trying your damnedest to make it cheesy and making it nothing but a miserable, unenjoyable watch. I had talked about in my last review for Sleepaway Camp 3 that I was like 27 minutes into this movie, and it was, as I put here in my notes, fucking light. How? Jesus, you can't, look at that. Like, it's so blurry, you can't see shit. It's funny, I wrote this here, there we go. If I do it like that, this is painful. That's just backwards though, but yeah. Anyways. Oh my God. Your ass stinks. This movie stinks. Okay, this movie fucking stinks. Like moldy cheese. Not good cheese. Okay? There's different kinds of cheese, right? There's really expensive, like gourmet cheese, which is the original Sleepaway Camp. And then there's rotting, disgusting, freaking moldy cheese. There it is. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, people. This was painful as I wrote here. Man, this was tough to get through. This was so rough to get through. I must have checked that time code 30 times. And every time it was like, only 2 minutes has passed? I thought it had been 10. This just did not work for me at all. I could see this working. Like, if some of this film works for you, I think all of it will. Because it does have a very even tone. It is ridiculously silly and cheesy. But on purpose, and as I just said, like, that is one of the hardest things to nail, is being purposely cheesy. The original Sleepaway Camp wasn't trying to be cheesy. Like, it was trying to be serious. It just came off as cheesy. And that's usually how you can have a successful cheese. Oh my God. Like, this film is a shame to me because we got Felissa Rose back, obviously spoilers. We got Ricky, we've got Ronnie, we've got some really cool returning cast members. And I just wish that, and there are people out there that like this movie, and more power to them. Good for them, obviously. But for the majority of us, which like me, it's a shame because I feel like they could have done something awesome here. Like, they just went for this. I honestly don't even have words to describe how over the top everyone's performance is. Like, yes, and people will be like, well, come on, man. Sleepaway Camp, the first one, was over the top acting. It was much more reserved than this because it was trying to be serious. Like, there's nothing in this film that's even attempting to be serious. It is all just cheese for cheese sake. Throw as much emotion at the screen as you can. Like, every character, exaggerate them 50 times over. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to care for this Alan kid. Like, am I supposed to, like, they're like, oh, like, even the tagline of the movie, like, kids can be so mean. Like, okay, but Alan's a dick. And Alan's a fucking weirdo. And I'm not saying you should be mean to weird kids. Because he's always like, I'm different. And it's like, is he autistic? What is he in this movie? I don't know. But he's a fucking asshole. Like, I don't know, that hurt the film for me a lot too. Not in addition to everyone's performances and all that. I thought all of that was just awful. Especially Alan. Oh my God. He is the most annoying character that I think I've almost ever seen in a film. The entire time I'm just like, I can't feel any sympathy for the fact that he's being bullied at all. I'm just like, I don't care. You're such a fuckface. You're such a piece of little, you're such a little shit. You're such a piece of shit, too. Like, every chance he gets, he bullies somebody, too. That chick with the pigtails and the glasses. He comes and yanks on her, and he comes over and he throws shit on people, and he bullies all the little geeky kids that can't fucking defend themselves against his size. And he's a bully piece of shit, too. So maybe if they made him a sympathetic character, maybe if he was just like, I'm different, and they just kept picking on him, this film may have worked a little better for me. Alan would have to be dramatically different. Then maybe. But Alan is the failure of this film for me. Because I cannot sympathize. I can't get on board with anything that's going on with him ever in this film. He is unnervingly awful. So, anyway, let's talk about the film itself. Now, Isaac Hayes is the chef in this movie. Stretch there. Yeah. Look, I have Alan is so fucking annoying, like in full caps and everything. I'm not even texting here and I'm writing in full caps because I'm just so annoyed with this kid. I must have wrote it like 5 times throughout these lists. Like, Alan needs to shut the fuck up. Alan's a bully too. Alan's a fucking annoying piece of shit. Like, it's just written all throughout here. This time we got Camp Manabe. And let's see. The cop with the voice box. Come on. Really? Like, really? Did anyone think that wasn't the killer? Did anyone think that wasn't Angela under there? Anybody? The only part of that that's stupid, though, is that she goes and she visits Ricky. Why? Like, that part doesn't even make any sense. Well, I'm just looking at, I'm looking into the murders. Like, no, you're not. Have you had any contact with Angela? You are Angela. Like, you know what Ricky does. Like, he comes to visit you. He says so. I'm the only one who does. Why would she even go out there? Like, she wants him to be there. That I could understand. Like, the phone call, like, hey, you need to come down here. Like, trick him into believing that there's a cop investigation. She has to set it up so he'll show up. That's the only thing, right? Like, she goes out there to make him aware of what's going on, make him like a suspect or something, and then call him later and be like, hey, this is going on, come on down. But I feel like could have done that anyways, but I guess further, I don't know. The whole scene is just stupid to me. The whole fucking movie is stupid to me. There's just such better ways to put Ricky in this, to put Ronnie in this, to put Angela in this. There's such better ways. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. Anyway. They even said, like, isn't she a man now? Like, she's so clearly a woman in this. Like, especially at the after credit sequence, which is actually has the best gore and is probably the best scene in the entire film. She's clearly a woman. Like, a full-on woman. Like a fucking voluptuous woman. And Felissa Rose is gorgeous. So it's like, I'm not saying, oh, there's drag queens out there, and that. Like, they say outright in the movie, like, isn't it a man now? Isn't it Peter now in jail? Like, they took off the facade, this and that. Like, if she's in jail, they're gonna give her a sex change operation in jail. They're gonna give her a boob job. They're gonna give her like hormone injections. In a mental institution. I'm sorry, no way. That doesn't matter. I just was like just showing her face maybe, but then later, as I said, after credits, as much as I love that sequence, that is a fucking woman, like a full-on woman, big tits and everything. Like, where'd she get those? Oh God. Ronnie's back, looking pretty damn good for his age. I want to say he's in his 60s and he's still pretty buff. That's pretty cool. Fuck, I hate Alan. Alan is so fucking annoying. Just keep reading this. Jeez, how many times I read it? We got Big Pussy from The Sopranos in here, and they actually call him a big pussy. A little nod to The Sopranos there. Everyone is so over the top mean, yes. His brother and like comes over and starts kicking the frogs and then skins them as a joke, which he gets his ass skinned back by Angela. Thank God. Fucking skinning animals alive. You should be skinned alive. So I like that got done. Some of the kills are fine. Like the deep fryer kill is fine. I like how the face kind of melts as it's on the ground. I thought that was kind of cool, and obviously kind of a little callback to the face melting scene of the Last Cook. So a little one there. And then one of the characters' names is TC, a little nod to a character in one of the sequels there. The joint and the gas kill is pretty cool. I like that idea of like making someone ingest a whole bunch of gasoline and then taking the pothead and putting a thing over his mouth and sticking a joint in there. That was fine. A lot of like CG enhancements that don't look great, but I like the idea. And this Alan never changing his shirt, being dirty and disgusting the entire film, and somehow he washed all the paint out of his shirt after he was bombarded with all these paintball kids. Like they just lined up and a firing squad took him out, which is really fucked up. Somehow they miss him 100 times and they're firing straight at him, but then they just blast his ass, which that would destroy him. Have you ever been hit by a paintball gun? It leaves a welt like this. If you were just blasted, he's wearing no protection of any sort. No armor, nothing. He would be fucking, oh my God, his whole body would, and we do get to see him with his clothes off later. They play this prank where they take all his clothes off of him. I think that happens after. Yes, it does. Not a single mark on him. So I don't know what kind of paintball guns those are, but the guns that they're using are those kinds of guns that leave welts. To my knowledge, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure yes. So, but somehow he washes all that paint out of that shirt, because that's the same shirt for sure. It has the same stain marks everywhere, around the neck, around the base, whatever. And when that girl's like, "What's that smell? Oh my God, it's you! What do you?" And it's, he's like, "Oh, I got hit by eggs earlier," and she's like, "And you haven't washed, or was it?" Have you looked at this fucking kid? He hasn't taken a shower since he's been there. Look at that fucking shirt. But as I said, like, how did he wash the paint out but none of the dirt, the stains, any of that stuff? But as I said, this film's stupid, so you can't really think of it like that. But I'm going to point them out, because why the fuck not? Yeah, it's great to see Angela in this. As I said, that's just kind of actually is a negative, because they should have been used so much better. This one girl is on his side throughout the film, and they're trying to make it seem like she's possibly the killer, but Alan never even acknowledges her. She's adorable too, so like, I don't know. Like, how is he not noticing how cute that chick is and that she's always on his side? She's the only person there that's nice. But her character's never addressed really and explored. Ronnie thinks she's the killer for a minute, which he's so out, like, all of a sudden has like this Mel moment where he freaks out on her. And it just doesn't go anywhere. Like, she's not even seen again in the entire fucking movie. Like, God, whoever wrote this movie. Jesus Christ. Like, there's at the end, like when Ricky and Ronnie are off, there's like this random chick with them that I don't even recognize. And it's like, shouldn't that have been the nice chick that was trying to help him? Wouldn't that make more sense? Maybe she quit. Maybe she quit the fucking movie and they were just like, well, we'll just get another one. Good thing they didn't just like put a fake mustache on her. And let's see. One girl, blah, blah, blah. Blowjob. God, these kids are so mean. But as I said, he's a piece of shit, so I don't give a fuck. Letting the rats eat his face and inside of him, eat his big pussy. Rats eating a big pussy. Oh, Lord. The pull through the glory hole kill. Like, they keep looking back and back and back. The bunk bed kill was fucking awesome. The big black girl that he's in constant, whatever. Like, the fact that thing comes under, there's all the nails up there, like one of those beds that the Indians lay on or whatever. Whatever the fuck those things are called. Bed of nails, I guess. And it like falls down and she looks up, she's like, what the fuck? And someone jumps from the rafter. Well, obviously, Angela jumps from the rafters and smashes down and kills the chick. I thought that was fucking awesome. I just thought that was an awesome idea, awesome kill. It goes with the camp setting, like they're in bunk beds. It goes with, like, I thought that was actually like, oh my God, they actually came up with something smart. Like, that's cool. And then the pull through the eye thing, as I had said, like it's so overdrawn, like it's drawn out forever. Same thing with the dick kill, whatever. They actually aren't dead, which I liked. But ties him around, ties a little freaking fishing line to his dick, and then her like doing the truck or the Jeep back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and him just doing like, I get it. It's building tension. It's over dramatic. It's adding comedic tension and whatnot. Maybe because I wasn't in the film, but it just was overdone. Like I was like, all right, after 5 times, I'm done with this. Like 3 I'd have maybe been all right, but it just seemed like it was going on and on and on. And then the barbed wire wraps around her face as she's coming. And of course, yeah, as I said, like you can't overanalyze, but I'm going to overanalyze. Like, so Angela sets up this thing. She just so happens to have a fishing line. Sure, okay, she's out in the woods camping. Maybe she has fishing line. Sure, why not? She has time to rig it up to his dick, run all the way back to the Jeep without that chick seeing it, then bank on the fact that the chick is going to drive away and putting a thing of barbed wire across the road, hoping that she's the only one that will hit it. Like, and him calling out to her is going to not make her run to him, it's going to make her run away from him, get in the car and drive off. Like, that's a lot of variables to take into consideration when you're setting up an elaborate torture like this. Because as I said, like, neither of them are actually dead when they find their bodies, which I thought was great, because that wouldn't kill them. They'd be in misery, but it wouldn't kill them. But it just, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, you have to be, and I'm not saying plenty of movies do it. Shit, Saw does it, and I think the Saw franchise is amazing. And you have to bank on all these different decisions. But I feel like those are much more calculated than something like this. This is just like, well, I think maybe she'll jump in the car after she hears him screaming, and maybe she'll drive off in this direction, and maybe, I don't know. But as I said, it is way overdrawn anyway. And then we get the reveal that it's Angela, and she does her laugh like she's, that face at the end. I wish she would have maybe, I don't know, they should have I think that's what they thought people were going to think. Like, well, it's just going to freeze frame with her face, again. And instead it's just kind of her laughing crazy and making that face, and then just getting like really like stoic and just kind of, and then it just cuts. I don't know if many people know this as an after credit sequence, because I'm sure once it was over, you're like, yes, stop, please, shut it off. There is an after credit sequence, and you get to see Angela, Felissa Rose, dressed up in some like, sexier outfit or whatever, and she's on the side of the road. You don't really get to see her too much because they're hiding the identity. I don't know why. But this kind of explains where she got the cop outfit and how she became a cop. She just stole his outfit. Very Hoyt style from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. But this movie's awful. I think I said it enough. So that's it. Sleepaway Camp is finished. I finally knocked out Sleepaway Camp. And this was the reason I never wanted to revisit it. But I did it. It's done. I don't have to go back to it. And I will never be watching this fucking movie again. All right, guys.